topic number two.
I feel
I
you,
don't
man.
remember. I
Boy,
don't remember which order I recorded them. So here we go. We'll all be surprised together.
Know if your man is happy. Have you paid enough attention to his mannerisms, befores and afters? Have you done your research? Have you even asked him? Let me rephrase that. Have you asked him without putting him in a position to feel like he needs to lie to keep your mouth from becoming disrespectful or not understanding him? Because a lot of the time, all I hear is, well, I do this, you haven't recognized this, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. I've done it too. I feel like maybe I have given it my all. But I soon realized that maybe that's my problem. I took something about him and I made it about me. Accountability. Next time I needed to try to be a bit more understanding. Softer approach, without judgment and without haste to shut him down. To put him in a space of love and sincerity. Hey, I've noticed you've been spending more time at work. You've been a little bit more quiet. You've been playing the game a lot, and I miss you. Is there anything that I can do to help you feel more at home, more at peace? See what their response is.
Okay, so
way easier said than done.
I can dig it. Yeah.
Hold on. So Janae, I knew that this was coming, and I think she answered your original question. I think that it's a lot in the approach. I feel like so it was cut off at the beginning, but the first question she asked, she said, "How do you know if your man is happy?" So Janae, go ahead.
I love what she said. I agree.
Me too.
Yeah, like I don't feel like it was nothing wrong with what she said. Like she's speaking fact. I feel like we've all, even if you flip it, I feel like we've all like not really took care of our significant other or miss like pieces of them being unhappy, or like Miro said, the whole life. You don't have to be able to be a mind reader, but you can read body language and you can read. You know if you've been with somebody and you know how they typically move on a day-to-day basis and things like that, when they start moving different or weird or something like that, like so you can either choose to ignore it or address it. I feel like that comes like that's what a communication comes, vulnerability. If it's a man and your man is doing things different or seeming kind of out of it, not really himself or whatever the case may be, babe, what's good? You don't seem like yourself. Talk to me. Let's talk about it. Men, if your woman kind of don't seem like she herself, something going on, she not really talking about it, babe, what's wrong? Let's talk about it. Let's talk it out. I don't feel like it was nothing wrong with what she said. I agree wholeheartedly. You need to pay attention to your partner. Make sure that your man is good, and men, make sure your woman good. Period.
Here's the thing, right? And I can only talk about me right now. And I'll get real personal and open the door, man. There's times in my schedule where I actually schedule nothing. Right? Like that's a thing. Hey, what you doing tomorrow? Nothing. That's like not, I don't want anything in this part of my schedule is dedicated to nothing. I also do that for my brain. Sometimes I'm quiet. I'm not thinking about nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not watching TV. I'm just sitting here. Hey, Jay, what's wrong? What's going on? What's on your mind? Nothing. No, no. You're quiet. You seem reserved. Yeah, but I'm really not thinking about nothing. Well, you normally are. So, yeah, but like literally nothing's on my mind. This is free time, and I'm just letting my thoughts just go wherever they go. Like I could be thinking about, yo, why have you never seen breakfast tacos? But you have seen them, but whatever. It just be anything. It be anything, bro. It be anything. So just because someone's silent or they're not their normal self doesn't mean that World War II is going on in their head, or that they're trying to unpack something, or that they're unhappy or they're disgruntled. Sometimes, like, as a man, I can't speak for all men, but as a man, I feel like and even the type of job that I have, right? I feel like my day is filled with solving problems, putting out fires. Oh man, that went wrong. You know what I'm saying? So if I can get 30 minutes that I don't have to do anything with my brain, I'm gonna take it.
But I feel like if you saying like that's a part of your routine where you normally do that, silence is okay. I feel like that's part of your self-care. You choose to have nothing scheduled, so that's your time. I don't feel like nothing is wrong with. I feel like it's a difference than you scheduling your quiet time than your body language showing that something is really
it might not even be scheduled. I might steal 10 minutes while we walking through the mall. I might steal 10 minutes of doing nothing. Yeah. Like I literally mentally check out all the time.
Yeah, because you do that for you. But I feel like I feel like if you've been with somebody or whatever the case may be, and it's been for a while, I feel like they should know that. Like, oh, he ain't nothing wrong with him. I feel like I feel like when you've been with somebody for a very long time, you know when it's a mental that they checking out or something is truly wrong.
For me, if something's wrong with you and you want to discuss it, come start a conversation about it. If other than that, man, all systems go. You cool. I'm not investigating when I don't have to.
But the thing is, Jay, the fact that you're able to say, this is what's going on with me. There's nothing wrong. I check out because I want to. If I have a problem, I will come to you. That is a communication. Versus somebody checking out, isolating.
I don't owe anybody an explanation about why. I don't owe anybody an explanation of why I'm not talking.
You don't owe it, but you also want to have a healthy relationship.
I feel
you don't owe it, but you also want to have a healthy relationship. So give your partner the opportunity to say, okay, all right.
Nah, because now I'm
glad nothing's wrong.
I'm taking the 10 minutes that I wanted to be quiet and think about nothing, talking to you about the fact that I'm thinking about nothing. No.
Right.
Now I have to think about something.
I feel like all three of y'all had a good point. And that's where the disconnect is sometimes. And I'll tell you what I mean. It's because we all do it. Jay said he has this just me moments, right? And then Janae went into how, she understands and we should know our partner, And then Miriam, you was like, hey, I agree, but at least you said something. Okay. And we should know our partner, right? So in our minds, because this is what happens, we think we know and we do know. You might be with somebody for years, right? This is the disconnect. Okay. That you come home and Jay just wants to be in his Jay mood, which is, I just want to be with me right now for 15 minutes. So then you come in, what's wrong with you? And Jay says exactly what he just said to you. Hey, nothing, that's wrong. I'm just having my me time. And then 10 minutes later, you come back to Jay. Nah, I feel like it's something wrong. Like, what's the problem? That's what happens. That's literally what happens. It's like, okay, I just told you.
And now there's a problem because there's no problem.
That's right. I just told you there's no problem. Now, in our mind, it's about to be a damn problem because I know 15 minutes later, you're going to ask me again what my problem is. And when I didn't have a problem and I told you there's no problem, now it's about to be a problem. You see what I'm saying? Because you get
that's right. That's how it goes both ways.
That's right. That's right. Everybody's guilty.
And even if so I think one of the key things that I've learned, like even if your partner is sharing an issue or whatever, you gotta ask like, what do you want from this? Are you just trying to let it off? Do you want a solution? Do you want a listening ear? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your expectation from this interaction we're about to have? You know what I'm saying? And you can't assume, because sometimes I just want to communicate with my thoughts. Because if I say them out loud, then I hear them too. But if I'm sitting out here and I'm speaking out loud to myself, y'all gonna think something wrong. But if I say them to you and I hear them, then I'm actually working my way through whatever mental maze that I have. But I don't want any input. I just want to kind of work it out myself. Or that sometimes where I've reached a mental block and I'm like, yo, somebody else's train of thought, it may help because I'm only thinking linear here, and I know that there's something that I'm missing here. So, and women are famous for that. Like, hey, I just want you to listen. But I think that's important to find out, what's the expectation when you're expressing what's on your mind or what you're thinking about or whatever.
So how does a woman recognize when the presentation is chicken tacos and the presentation is I'm thinking about my grandfather because he's the only father I ever had, and I have checked out mentally and I can't respond to you emotionally because I'm afraid of a reaction? How do we recognize when there is a level of vulnerability that needs support?
Well, here's the thing, right?
That's the
In
question.
most relationships, right, there's going to be levels of vulnerability that need support, right? Both sides. If your partner doesn't feel comfortable coming to you in those moments, you should ask yourself, what am I not being that they need? And that's either way, male or female, female or male. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about same-sex couples because I just don't know. I'm not, but I think it works the same way. I think
What?
just two people with brains, right? Because sometimes you're not trustworthy with their vulnerability.
I don't even think that's the problem.
No, but it's an issue. It's definitely an issue.
I mean, I think sometimes, because like I say, everybody's making excellent points, but I think sometimes, like Miriam just posed the question, how do I know when? What were you saying again? Like, how do I know when?
How do I recognize you being quiet because you are thinking about air, opportunity, space, and water? Or if you're being quiet because you need support in that moment? And this is what I meant by the first video. I feel like as a woman, I've missed the mark. And this is me being very personal, transparent. I've missed the mark where there was an opportunity for me to step up and step in and be something. But I missed it because when I had it in front of me, I couldn't recognize it because I'm sitting here when I do step up, I'm like, okay, I'm being told that I'm not needed. But then when I don't step up, I'm being told that I should have because I should have been able to recognize that you need support. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That made perfectly good sense. Yeah.
So I'm just like before when I took the poll of help women help us understand. Like, granted, each person's individual, but help us understand what we should be looking for. How should we know when it's a good time to step in and support?
I think the easy answer is treat every situation differently. Like, a lot of times in relationships, we think one situation is a continuation of a previous situation, and they may not be connected at all. So every situation, offer, if you really want to be there to help, offer your help every situation. Even if it's no 100 times, the 101st time it might be needed.
Right.
Like, that's the only way I can say, because everybody
stumping their toe though.
No, I'm gonna tell you. So like
stumping their toe.
So look, he right, but I get where he coming from because obviously everybody's different. But if the man, if your situation, the person was like, hey, I didn't need you at this moment, but I needed you here. You missed the mark on when I actually needed you. What Jay just said makes sense. It's just the approach and how often, because if we're going to tell you something, we're going to tell you. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to force it out of us. Like, if I want to talk to you about something, just like the lady said, in the video, it's about your approach. I just don't need you to keep approaching me 100 times about it. If I'm thinking about my grandfather that died, or if I'm thinking about my dad, that died or whatever, and you come and say, hey, babe, everything good? You need anything? And I say, no, I'm good. I might not say I'm thinking about my dad. I might just say I'm good. But if I want to talk about it, I'm going to give you the opportunity because I'm going to come to you and I might actually talk about it. So Jay's approach on, hey, and it don't have to be the same thing every time, but it's just those little subtle moments so you're not missing the mark. and you're not pressuring at the same time.
It's a crazy dance, right? It's a real intricate dance, but like you said, like who gonna keep stumping their toe every time? To me, that's an indication that you're keeping score of all the moments that he didn't need the help. You know what I'm saying? Now every moment's a new moment.
Right.
Like you got to be to use a sports analogy, you got to be a quarterback after an interception. You got to let that shit go.
Right.
Come back, and the game's still going on. You got to come back out there and because we need you to win. We needed to win, in my humble opinion. Anybody got anything else, man? I got one more lined up.